Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and I'm going to be doing an Appliancer deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely budget deck that can easily win you games by link summoning into some really cool boss monsters. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description for every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Appliancer Saw Control. This card is a definite 3-of in the build and just an amazing extender for the deck, because if you control an Appliancer monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If another copy of Appliancer Saw Control is special summoned to your field while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon another copy of Saw Control from your deck, which is great to get additional copies of this card on the field so that you can start link summoning into some really cool cards. We then play 3 copies of Copybookler. This card is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card can count as other copies of your Appliancer cards, because it has the ability to target an Appliancer monster that you control to special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, this card's name becomes that monster's name until the end phase. And during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the grave, and then target an Appliancer monster that you control and special summon one monster with the same name from your hand or grave, which is a great effect for this card to have. We then play 3 copies of Breaker Buckler. This card is really amazing in the deck, and you want to play 3 of each name so that you have a maximum number in the deck so that you can see the names to be able to summon out your copies of your link monsters. But this card is really good in the deck because during damage calculation, if an Appliancer monster you control battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can discard this card, and for that battle, that monster that you control cannot be destroyed. Also, you take no battle damage, which is amazing for this card to be able to do, especially with a lot of our link monsters effects. And if an Appliancer monster you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from the field or grave instead, which is an amazing ability. We then play 3 copies of Parallel XZ. Parallel XZ is an amazing extender in the deck to be able to summon to your side of the field, because we're always link summoning into link 1s and link 2s, so this card is amazing to be able to summon to your side of the field, summon an additional copy of a Parallel XZ to your side of the field, and then they both become level 4 with 1000 attack and 1000 defense, and it makes it super easy to link climb in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Jester Confit. This card is great as a 3-of in the build because it just special summons itself for free to your side of the field. You can only control 1 copy of it, but it's still really good to be able to summon to your side of the field just to extend your plays. We then play a single copy of Codebreaker 0 Day. Codebreaker 0 Day is really good in the deck to be able to use with your Codebreaker link monsters so you can link climb into some really cool cards. We then play 3 copies of the Star Destroying Kaiju. This card is amazing to be able to play as a 3-of in the deck because it works really well with your copy of Laundry Dragon, so your opponent is going to take 3,300 points of damage when you use this card to be able to give to your opponent and then swing into it with Laundry Dragon, which is just really amazing. I absolutely love this card as a 3-of because it basically outs any monster in the game and then works really well in combination with your copy of Laundry Dragon. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's a definite 3-of in the deck, basically just to stop your opponent from touching the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Monster Reborn. This card is really good to bring back one of your monsters from the graveyard to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is great to be able to search out our Appliancer field spell. We then play a single copy of Appliancer Conversion. Appliancer Conversion is really good as a 1-of, just to help you OTK, and this card is really amazing because you banish as many Appliancer link monsters from your main monster zone as possible, then special summon your banished Appliancer link monsters up to the number of banished by this effect, which is a pretty cool effect to basically tag out your Appliancer link monsters to be able to go in for more damage. It also has the ability during your main phase. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish one other Appliancer spell trap from your grave and add this card back to your hand. But you can only use each effect this card once per turn, but I feel like all you really need is a single copy of this card. We then play 3 copies of Where Art Thou. Where Art Thou is really good as a 3-of in the build because this searches out any of your level 1 monsters, which is just super cool. Because if you control a face-up level 1 monster, you can add a level 1 monster from your deck to your hand, and during the end phase of this turn, take 2,000 points of damage if you did did not normal summon the added monster or a card with the same name after this card's activation, which is totally fine because it's going to help you just get the exact monster you need to your hand so you can extend your plays. We then play 3 copies of Appliancer Reuse. Appliancer Reuse is really good as a 3-of in the deck because this card lets you target an Appliancer monster in the graveyard and special summon it and place it on the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field, but this card is basically 3 copies of Monster Reborn, which is just super cool. We then play 3 copies of Machine Duplication. Machine Duplication is really amazing as a 3-of in the deck because this card basically just summons out 2 more copies of any of your Appliancer monsters because they're all machines and all of them have less than 500 attack points, which is amazing to be able to use with this card just to get you more Appliancer monsters on your side of the field to link summon into some really cool cards. We then play 3 copies of Appliancer World. Appliancer World is an amazing field spell that has a really cool ability that when this card is activated, you can add an Appliancer card from your deck to your hand, except a field spell. And once per turn, if you link summon an Appliancer Link monster, you can add 1 Appliancer monster from your graveyard to your hand, essentially giving you a free link summon. And once per turn, when a monster declares an attack, you can move an Appliancer monster that you control to another of your main monster zones so that you can make it either co-linked or not co-linked depending on the effect that you want to get for your Appliancer monsters. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 3, and that's going to be 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Impermanence is really good in the deck to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects while also locking down entire columns of spells and traps if you set this card to your side of the field, which is amazing. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with Appliancer Keltipus. This card is a card you always want to put in your extra monster zone because of its link arrows. But this card is amazing because this linked card cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects or their monster's attacks, which is a really cool ability about this card. And during damage calculation, if an Appliancer link monster that you control co-linked to this card battles an opponent's monster, your battling monster gains attack equal to the number of monsters co-linked to this card times 1,000 during that damage calculation only, which is a really cool ability because it can boost your monsters up by about 2,000, which is really cool. And once per turn, if an Appliancer link monster you control that is not co-linked to this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can draw a card, which is a really cool ability about this card. We then play one of the best link monsters ever created, and that's going to be 2 copies of Laundry Dragon. I almost play this card as a 3-of because this is the main card we summon from our extract all the time. It's actually my favorite Appliancer link monster, and comment down below what your favorite Appliancer card is. Mine is actually Laundry Dragon, and this card is just so cool to help you work with your kaiju. His ability, this card cannot be used as a link material to turn its link summon, and neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this card. Also, once per turn, after damage calculation, if this co-linked card battles an opponent's monster, you can banish that opponent's monster. And once per turn, after damage calculation, this monster that is not co-linked battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, which works really good with your copy of the Star Destroying Kaiju, because basically this card will be destroyed by that battle, and then it will go off to be able to inflict 3,300 points of damage to your opponent, which is just really amazing. We then play 2 copies of Propel Leo. This card is really good as a 2-of in the build because this card can actually attack directly, which is just absolutely insane. It just helps out a lot in the deck to just do additional 1,200 points of damage to your opponent, because once per turn during damage calculation, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, while this card is co-linked, quick effect, you can make that opponent's monster's attack 0 during that damage calculation only. And once per turn, during damage calculation, if this monster that is not co-linked battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, make that opponent's monster's attack 0 during damage calculation only, which is great to be able to work with your copy of Propel Leon. This card is just so good in the deck as a 2-of. We then play a single copy of Vacuum Elephant. Vacuum Elephant is just a good 1-of in the deck, and I really like the option to be able to go into this card. 1 copy of Kappa Scale. Kappa Scale is also a really good option to be able to play in the deck, but you only need a single copy of it. And then finally a single copy of Dryer Drake. You want to play 1 each of these cards because they're just really good options to be able to make in the deck overall, to be able to use, but usually you're just using your copy of Propel Leon and your copy of the Laundry Dragon to go in with your copy of Keltipus, which is just really important. But these do have really good combo pieces in the deck. With my single copy of Nightmare Griffin, you can Griffin lock your opponent in the deck, which is just super cool to be able to do, because this card has the ability that basically monsters that are, you only use the effect of this card once per turn, but special summon monsters on the field cannot activate their effects unless they're linked, which is super easy to do to make a copy of, say, Keltipus, and then this card will point to your copy of Keltipus, and Keltipus will point to this, basically making it so that your opponent won't activate their monster special summon effects because they won't be linked, which is just really cool. And then a single copy of Goki the Power Load Ogre. Goki the Power Load Ogre is very easy to summon to your side of the field with the Codebreaker monsters, and this card is really good because it gains attack equal to the combined link ratings of all other link monsters that you control times 200, and this link summon card is unaffected by other card effects, which is amazing to be able to just summon this card to your side of the field that's unaffected by everything. We then play a single copy of Codebreaker Berserker. Codebreaker Berserker is just a good extender in the deck, and it's just a really good card overall, because when this card is special summon, if this card is co-linked, you can special summon up to 2 Codebreaker monsters from your hand or graveyard to the zones that this card points to, which is a really cool effect to be able to use to instantly get your copy of your Swordsman and Zero Day back to your side of the field, so you can make a copy of Goki the Power Load Ogre, which is just really cool. We then play a single copy of Codebreaker Swordsman. Codebreaker Swordsman is really good as a one-of in the deck to be able to summon to your side of the field and use as a combo piece to be able to get out your copy of Goki the Power Load Ogre. We then play a single copy of Access Code Talker. Access Code is just amazing in the deck because you can pop multiple cards on the field, because you have a lot of different attributes between your Appliancer monsters and your other cards in the deck. So it's very easy to make this card, and it comes out absolutely massive to be able to just OTK your opponent with. And finally, we play a single copy of Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh is really good in the deck as a one-of because you do play a lot of level 1s in this build, so you can make this card very easily on your side of the field to just basically protect you from an attack. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a really fun budget deck to be able to play, and I absolutely love Appliancer because it's just such a fun deck. And definitely comment down below what your favorite Appliancer monster is. Mine, hands down, is Laundry Dragon because it's won me so many games playing this deck, and it's just really, really cool, and it's super fun to be able to play. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.